Okay, we'll call to order the Selectmen's meeting of October 22nd, 2024. Please all rise and join me in the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. New business. Approval of the Selectmen's meeting minutes for October 8th, 2024.
Move to approve the Selectmen's minutes. October 8th.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Approval of the October 22nd, 2024 consent file. Review and sign manifest in the amount of $50,506.67 and $3,691.30. This includes an accounts payable and payroll manifest for 10/15/24 and 10/22/24. Review and discuss an eviction proceedings for 2024 tax deeded property.
So that was deeded back on September 30th. I did reach out to the town clerk to try and get all the information to provide it to the town attorney to try and find her.
Yeah.
We're kind of at a standstill with it. Kelly advised to see if maybe Caitlin could help with some of that, if possible.
Okay.
Because of now, we can't reach her. There's renters in the dwelling that the park doesn't even have the information on the renters. So we literally have no one to contact.
I'm guessing this is in Piper Meadows?
Yes.
Yeah.
How'd you guess?
Wild guess.
Just kind of an update on
So that's just an update on that. Okay. All right. So we just have the one manifest to approve.
Well, you got two more items.
I know.
Use that.
I didn't get the new one.
This could be a permit.
You updated it, didn't you?
I did, yes.
All right. That's okay.
Do you have a copy of the updated? Give me mine.
Thank you. Okay. Review, discuss, and approve or deny residential building permit for 13 Hurley Corner. Review, discuss, and approve or deny residential building permit for 53 Moat View Drive.
I move to approve the consent file as presented.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Town Administrator's Report.
So I put in a copy. Kelly and I went through today and updated the expenditure versus budget worksheet for 2025. I gave you guys all a copy. It's tiny writing.
Tiny writing?
Yeah.
That's all right.
But just so you guys can have a copy, take a look through it.
You can send me a...
I sent it
Send the
to Rick in email. You can probably see it better. I can send it to you guys as well.
Yeah, do that.
It's the easiest way to do it. That way you can make notes on it.
Yeah, please.
Alright, and then the next was if you guys want to move the meetings back to Wednesdays starting in November. The Tuesday meeting for November would actually fall on the election day. We're done with football the 30th of this month, so I'm open to whatever works for you guys. Kelly thought it might be a little crazy to try and do it on the election day, but I'm open to whatever you guys want to do. I did throw a calendar in there. So you can look at the
I have no problem with that.
I
I mean, the other thing we could do is, if it's gonna be just our regular agenda type of thing without not a lot of stuff. I mean, I have no problem with doing our election.
We did it that way for the primary.
Right, but if there's a lot of stuff on the agenda, it would be better and more efficient if we did it on a different.
Yeah, can we Would it be too much trouble to move back to Wednesday for you guys?
Doesn't matter to me. I can manage it.
Just because my wife works on Tuesday and like tonight I have to finagle picking up one of the kids and just
Oh, no, I have no problem.
Wednesday. But when it comes to that meeting, we can do that one on Tuesday,
Yeah?
just to line it up with the
Well,
town meeting.
let's tentatively make it for Tuesday if the agenda looks like it's gonna be, enormous.
Yeah, because the
I
next
mean,
one falls on
the chair can make a decision to cancel the meeting and to reschedule,
Yeah.
at a better date.
Yeah, so right now the next meeting would fall on November 5th.
So let's leave that one.
Okay.
But when it gets closer, I'll talk to you and we'll see how
Yeah,
general
that
it
makes
is.
sense.
And then,
Take a boring day and make it somewhat interesting.
90-day review for me. Kelly said she had given you guys some documents, different, review documents. She just said to
yes.
mention it, so you guys have it on your
I think
radar
it
for
was
next
just
month.
kind of a blueprint for actually doing a review. When's the 90?
It would be, I believe I said, I want to say the 19th of August, so November,
November.
mid-November.
Why don't we schedule it for the beginning of December, like the December meeting,
Yeah.
because of the Thanksgiving holiday and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Are you good with that, Melissa?
Yeah,
Yeah, got it right.
if you didn't.
Elisa?
It's Elisa.
Oh!
You were close. It's okay. It's the story of my life. I'm used to it. You're not hurting my
If any
feelings.
decisions are made, I'll recommend that it's retro back to your starting date. So if we go, we're going past your actual date of hire, but don't worry about that.
Appreciated. And that's it for me.
And the flowers outside the doors look nice. You did a
Thank
nice
you.
job.
Yes, that is important.
For the record.
That is
I
important.
appreciate it.
Okay, we have no appointments today.
No.
I see we got our accident report. I haven't seen the new one.
Just a few more accidents.
Just a few more accidents, right? But
I think there's, 3 more or 4 more from the last
since the
one.
last one, yeah.
But I think that's the last 12 months too, so it would be the end of last year into this year. I only quickly glanced at it.
From 10/9 to 10/9, 23 to 24, so.
Yeah.
I would like to see if we can get a report from the state police, because this is only what the sheriff's respond to.
I know.
Is that possible to ask Elisa to
Yeah,
figure that one out?
absolutely.
Sure.
Contact the state police?
I think Dominic mentioned contacting, was it E-Troop directly?
Yeah,
And not going through the state, because
Right.
the state, that'll
Yeah,
take
they
2 years
yeah,
to
they don't.
get it.
And that's Troopy. Troopy.
I believe
Troop
it's
B,
Troop B,
yeah.
I think so too. Okay.
Yep.
and just tell them like, it's for, they know what's going on here.
Sure.
They know we're trying to get some things straightened out, so I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And just for on the same subject, I think you got the email that I sent.
Yes, and
There was one section at the state that said that it passed and took effect January 1st, and then I got another notice from a different thing that I'm on from the state that said it was tabled. It was
I
on
want to talk about it. I'm going to bring it up because for the camera, that this is regarding the 45 mile per hour speed limits that we've been tracking pretty closely, and we had it, we didn't have it, we had it, and this time it was pretty much guaranteed, and you find out that it's still
officially
died on the
it's
table.
tabled, but when they say it's tabled and the session closes, which it has done,
Yeah.
okay, it's dead. The only way that it could happen would be if we could get one of our representatives to bring it back up soon into the next session.
I ran into Representative McConkey on Saturday. He had no idea this happened. He said he wanted the numbers, I didn't have them, so I forwarded him the email you sent us
Yeah.
yesterday, and he's got to find out what's going on. He said that doesn't, he said he pretty much said, don't worry. After November 5th, we can get, hopefully, we can get all this straightened out. So, a lot is hinging on this election this year.
Well, there's a lot of stuff hinging on it.
Yes.
We could be in full-blown civil war.
Not, with Conway?
You never know.
Seems like we always are. So yeah, so if anybody's tracking the progress on this 45 mile per hour, we are definitely fighting as hard as we can on it. And it's not, as far as I'm concerned, it's not dead, because if we have to...
Hey, I was gonna suggest, why don't we get in touch with Joe Kenny, Mark McConkey, and get us a meeting with the governor. The governor is on his way out because he's not running for re-election. And let's have a sit down face to face and talk to the governor about Route 16.
I was thinking along the same lines, but I thought maybe with the new governor.
Let's do it with the old governor.
Well, what power are they gonna have in 2
He
weeks?
can still do stuff.
Not in 2 weeks. I don't...
Well, no, he doesn't, he's not up until December 31st. So it's not 2 weeks. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
you know, and the thing is, we'd have to have Joe Kenny and/or Mark set that, make that arrangement.
okay. Why don't we get past the 5th, and we'll have, at the most, at the very least, I should say, have Mark McConkey.
Have you gotten Joe Kenny involved in this? or-
I've never spoken with him, I've never had any correspondence with him.
Well, the reason I say that is anything the governor signs or has to agree to has to usually go through the executive committee. And there's a lot of influence there.
Well, I agree.
And in the future, I wouldn't leave whoever, I mean, I know Joe is running for re-election and whatnot, and it's always been good to deal with regard to broadband. He
Yeah,
was always involved in everything we were doing with broadband.
okay.
And I think it's important that we get the executive counselor that represents our district involved in anything in the future. I mean, it gives support to Mark McConkey and everybody else that's fighting for
Yeah.
this stuff as well.
Okay. All right, well,
And, you know, maybe it requires getting both Mark and Joe in here for a meeting. I know the last time I was a selectman, Joe came in a couple of times.
yeah,
We invited him in to bring us up to speed, just get the,
okay,
you know, the avenue of communication open with him.
yeah,
And I mean, I still talk to him today. I mean, he called me not long ago about the district for broadband,
yeah,
wanting to know how that was going and fill in. I sent him the annual report that we sent out to all the towns and that sort of thing. But no, I think it's an important
okay.
position to be involved in this kind of stuff. Just FYI.
I agree, but I just feel kind of overwhelmed.
Well, it's your
Election.
ball.
Let's get the election, it's 2 weeks.
I just wanted to
You
bring
know,
up,
as far as setting up a meeting and stuff, but,
no, I don't want you to think I'm not interested in this either, but.
no,
I
I'm
mean,
glad, because I need, especially because you
I've gone
know,
through
you know
this and
the,
fought with them over it.
you do your research on this stuff, and I
Well, that's how
kind
you
of count on
gotta, that's
that.
how you gotta beat them.
Yeah,
Should we try
You'd
to
be
set up a
surprised
meeting
how
for
stupid some of these
the
legislators
next
really
meeting,
are.
but
the one after,
one after? Give them, at least give them as
Be
much
a
notice as
month out.
possible to,
it'll be a month out.
yeah.
Well, how do you want to go about this? You want to send them an invitation, or you just want to shoot them an email? Or how do you?
Face to face works.
No, have them come in, but how do we invite them? Do we have to send a
You can
formal?
get on the phone with them, you can, yeah, I mean,
All right, well, if you don't talk to
I
Mark first, I'm going to talk to him in the next couple
I
days.
usually talk with somebody over the phone and then follow it up with an email referencing the phone conversation.
Yeah.
That way they can't turn around and say, well, geez, I don't remember we talked.
Yeah, so November 20th would be the,
Yeah, I mean, it's,
why not? Give them
but the more people involved, I mean, my education, both in firearms legislation as well as the broadband, the more people you get involved, the more chance of success you're gonna have.
Oh, I agree.
Because word's gonna get out.
Someone else just said with the what'd he say? We're the little town that could. We're like the squeakiest wheel in Concord, so.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, it's.
So it
You
is
know,
making an effect.
I served on the board of directors at Municipal, and I'll tell you, it was an education talking to selectmen in other towns.
Mhm.
We all suffer from the same problems. You know, just our budgets are different.
Well, I can mention it to Mark, or you can mention it. I think he's the go-to guy, because he was gonna set up a meeting.
Oh, I've known Mark for many years. I mean, Mark is.
Doesn't matter who calls him first.
You know, I mean, you're leading this charge, and I believe in the chain of command, but let me know what you want me to do. I mean,
I'll call him. I own the call anyway.
you know,
Once he sees
and
the
if you want the contact information for Joe, or I could call him, let me know.
So, I know there's not.
And Joe is right down here in Wakefield, so it's not far from him, even though his district is huge.
Yeah.
He's not that far away.
What is his response? I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna be really stupid right now, but what is his responsibility?
He's on the 5-member executive council that's just below the governor of the state. They approve contracts, and I
Yeah.
mean, their agendas are so long that their meetings last a day, sometimes a day and a half.
That's why you like it so much.
Huh?
You like long meetings. That's why you like it so much. You.
No, I don't like long meetings.
Day and a half.
I like it short and sweet.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, and, you know, getting him fighting at the governor's level, I mean, if we've got legislation that passes both the House and the Senate, it then goes to the governor. Okay, and having the executive council on our side. I mean, I used to use Ted Gatsis a lot as well, because I knew Ted from Manchester, and he was our state senator when I was in Bow.
All right.
And he's getting old like me, and he's retired. But yeah, I mean, getting them more involved in it.
Oh, I agree.
The better.
All right. So we'll try to. I'll talk to Mark. If you want to talk to Joe, you can.
I can do
Put
that.
a bug in his ear and say this is what we're looking to do.
No, I'll invite him and see what he offers for it.
Okay.
You know, you have, you know, Mark as a senator, or hopefully a senator, and you have an executive counselor going to the Department of Transportation, you know, wanting something to get done. It's not just one legislator aligning.
All right. Let's do that.
So you want it for November 22nd?
20th. Be Wednesday, yeah.
It's the
November
Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
No, it's not.
Even before
No,
that.
I think
It's
it's
the week
following-
prior.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next week before that.
Okay.
All right, I'll call Joe and invite him.
All right. I'm gonna take the traffic report out of this package, Elisa.
Because I'm gonna call him before the election and tell him I won't vote for him if he doesn't.
There you go. That's just sway him right there.
There was also, the CCS sent over their 2025 estimate and suggestions. I put the estimates in the packet. They accidentally took Kelly's laptop off thinking we didn't need it anymore. So I did contact her, asking her to revise that portion to put that back on. But I'll shoot you guys that email just because it does have some suggestions of things to do going forward and sort of the guidelines with it.
I looked at all that stuff, and that's new since I was last a selectman. Could we get a representative of their company to come in and kind of show us or tell us what they do for us? Just so, no?
Yeah, they want to sell it.
You know, maybe throw them out a couple of dates to see what's convenient for them. I mean, I don't think it's to be done tomorrow, but I think I'd like to know more about what they're doing for us. Because that would help understand the price tag.
Absolutely, it's a decent price tag, so
And it'd probably be good for you too.
yeah.
Okay. Anything from the planning board?
Oh, let me try to remember. I went over with them a bunch of stuff that had done with the chapel.
Yeah.
So updated them all that. We talked about the email that we had gotten from GM2 Associates. They were looking for information from everyone from the town, I guess.
Yeah.
And the things that came out of the planning board was, number 9, do you have any environmental concerns not previously noted, noise impacts, farmland conversion, etc. And the 2 things that came out of that was engine brakes and rumble strips. They wanted to make sure they had that noted from the planning board, that that was their concern.
No rumble strips?
And no engine brakes.
They can't do anything about the engine brakes, but that's on us, and that's what I'm gonna recommend when we'll have to put it on as a warrant, I would imagine.
Well,
But can we do that on a state road?
We can, because it's an ordinance.
it's an ordinance.
It's a noise ordinance.
It's an ordinance for the whole town.
Okay.
Yeah, it's any road.
So I looked into that a little bit just to see if other towns had them, and some towns actually do have that Jake brake ordinance. Discussed it a little bit with Kelly Collins. She thinks we should really consult the town attorney on it because it is a state highway. It could be
Contact New Hampshire Municipal first. It's cheaper.
Okay.
And if you're gonna talk to anybody down there, see if Steve Buckley's available. Tell him I said hi.
And if we did that ordinance, would it be just for Route 16 or
No,
the town?
whole town.
The whole town, that's what I was thinking, yeah.
No,
It
you
all
can't.
makes sense to.
I don't think you can.
And if you're looking for an ordinance, check the town of Bow, New Hampshire.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is we had a problem on River Road that goes down off Route 3A down to the Bow Power Plant with trucks going through a residential area. And they use their Jake brakes to slow down coming off of Route 3A. I don't know, I don't remember, that was happening just as I was leaving town.
Okay.
So I don't know what happened there, but I know the last time I was down there, they have signs up, no Jake brakes.
Okay.
And I don't know exactly. And if you have to, you could call the town manager down there, Dave. I forget Dave's last name. He knows me. Call him and ask him about it, what they did about Jake brakes on River Road, and tell him I said hi. But I would contact the municipal association first. I mean, I don't think it's time to get, I always use the New Hampshire Municipal Association.
They're legal.
They're legal,
Yeah.
right. They'll let you know if it shouldn't be something that they are advising you on, that you have to go to town attorney.
Okay.
But we pay $1,100, $1,200 a year
Sure.
to them. And it's a valuable asset to use their legal advice. They know that the RSA's inside and out. And it's cheaper.
Okay.
So that's my advice, would be to use them whenever you have a legal question,
Okay.
instead of going to Drummond and Woodson, because every time you pick up the phone or send them an email, they bill in quarter-hour increments.
Sure.
I don't know that it's a legal thing.
I don't either, but I'm sure the municipal associations run across this before and they
Well,
advise you.
the issue that they have is that it's almost unenforceable, because you'd have to get the noise on a decibel meter to prove that it was above whatever decibel. So they said it's, but
I have a decibel meter.
well, we'll have to give it to the sheriff. What I would recommend is we go forward with it, and I think that we need to increase the presence of the sheriff's department on Route 16, at least for the time being.
Be careful there, because they're getting to a point where they may turn around and tell us that we may have to do something else.
Well, they've already.
Well, they're getting
mentioned it.
overtaxed down there.
They kind of mentioned it, but
No,
I'm not saying added patrols. I'm saying on their patrols.
Define it, yeah,
Yes.
okay, yeah.
No, we've already upped it, but
No, that makes
I've
sense.
noticed they're down the end, but I very seldom I did see them at Town Hall the other day. But to have a presence early. I'm catching it like 4 or 5 in the morning. They're just all the way through.
Well, they do it in front of my place too.
Yeah,
Just when they slow down for going in through the S's.
and it's not like,
Oh,
it's not one turn, it's every turn all the way. I can count it coming through town. So I think everyone else is hearing it, so we'll take care of it. We'll get that one.
Well, let's find out what our options.
Yes.
And I think municipal can answer, give
I
us an
agree.
idea.
Yep.
If they can't answer it, at least point us in a
Tell us what the
direction.
challenges are.
Exactly.
The other thing was CIP.
Yeah.
I was supposed to go to your meeting. Well, Sean, I talked to him on something else,
Yeah.
and he said he was confused or something, and I
Yeah.
forgot all about it.
Right.
And he didn't send me the copy of the CIP
are we the
until
ones that set
an
that?
hour before.
They do.
Oh, really? We the ones that set that?
They said it. They said it, we approve it.
No, we still have the authority, that they're only a recommendation.
Right.
to
Well,
the select board.
we said it, but they give us, it's pretty much, we say, yeah, it's
And
good
it's
enough.
our representative on the CIP committee that is supposed to represent us and bring forth anything that we're thinking about, like the chapel.
Correct,
and
right.
What's gotta go on with that.
Yeah. There was this.
I think at some point, looking at the building, okay,
Yeah.
we need some maintenance done to some of these buildings coming
Yeah.
up in the next couple of years, or we're gonna start having big bills
Yeah.
further down the line.
Let's talk about the Drake Hill Bridge. If the
What's the
grant doesn't
status
come
with
through-
that?
Something about the grant not coming through and not being able to capitalize on that, then we're gonna have to foot more of the bill.
Well, I posed this to Curtis, I think, once. I'm pretty sure I did. What could we do to that bridge to put a Band-Aid on it and make it last longer?
Right. Yeah.
I know in my last term as selectman, we turned around and lowered the tonnage on it.
Right.
I know the state didn't really like that, but I don't think they had any say on it because it's on our property.
Right.
It's on our town road. But, we had, trying to think of the engineer, was it? No, it wasn't Bergeron. It was someone that Curtis had do it. Took pictures of it, and they should be on file. And there's some things falling apart on the underside of the bridge. And I'm just wondering, is there something that we could do to Band-Aid it, just to keep it safe and last a little bit longer, so that if grant money does become available, we can deal with it. From a safety standpoint, it's an important bridge for everybody that lives up on Drake Hill Road and whatnot. I know the state uses it whenever there's an accident, they bypass people around on it.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, if the bridge ever got closed down because it fell in or something, what are you gonna do? And for the town to take the full load of repairing it, especially to state specs, we're talking millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And the state, in their infinite wisdom, only uses federal money to replenish those bridge funds and highway funds. And the towns get the scraps.
Okay.
So,
What else
I
you
don't know. I'd almost recommend freezing that capital reserve fund for at least this year. And let's see what happens after the election with the legislature and what's coming down the road. And actually look into where they're at with bridge funds.
Right.
Because the bridge funds are like the 10-year plan. They keep, they say we're gonna do your project in 4 years,
Yeah.
and then 2 years down the thing, now it's stretched out to 6 more years
Yeah,
on top
it's
of
off,
it. And, it's a
So you'd recommend not adding to it,
if
leaving it where it is?
if it for a year and evaluate it again next year.
So when should we go
But
through
but
this?
then add to like a chapel fund
Yeah.
or the maintenance fund for the building, and let's build up something there so that we can get that done.
All right, so when do we go through that list, and we have to have it ready?
Well, the
Town meeting,
capital
right?
improvement, I would think you'd want it done by the end of November.
You should actually be looking at it like at every meeting,
Yeah.
not just one set meeting.
I mean, we should discuss it.
You should have a
and
discussion.
giving you information like we're doing right now
Yeah.
to bring to the capital
Yeah, then you
reserve.
piece all that and then have that final
It's
meeting where
another-
they say, this is what we're gonna
It's
do.
another set of eyes that are looking at savings accounts for future projects,
Yeah.
so that you can keep tax rates reasonably low when the time comes to do what
I
you're.
mean, there's really not a lot to it,
No, there isn't.
so, but just keeping notes on it, and then all of a sudden,
Right.
put it all together.
I mean, if you're gonna have another capital reserve fund, let me know ahead of time. I'd be happy to attend, not as a selectman, just as a
Well,
resident.
then I should get Sean to put it on for next planning board meeting.
Yeah, but don't send me stuff like an hour before the meeting starts.
And make sure it's posted.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And I'd be happy to
Does
come
it
as
have
just a resident.
yeah.
I mean, I want to say it was myself and the planning board at the time that actually started the CIP.
So the planning board should get all these numbers together, recommend it, and then pass it to us.
And you'll send a recommended
Yeah,
sheet to the,
When is the next planning board meeting, do you know?
that'll be November, it's the second, is it the
I
second?
mean, the
one?
CIP is supposed to, it's supposed to have a member of the planning board on it, a member of the select board on it, a member of all the departments of the town, like the town tax collector,
Right.
town clerk should be on that.
So you're saying should be, that means we don't have this set up.
No, there's a lot of things the planning board don't have set up. Yeah, you're supposed to have departments. I mean, I think she should be attending a meeting, or at least have input into what you're doing.
Right, yeah.
Because she handles the day-to-day stuff, you know, maintenance of the building. She sees everything. Yeah. Kelly used to attend it, and I think back when Kathy Golden was the town administrator, she attended the meetings. They don't have to be long meetings. I mean, it's not like, and it's not like you have to have 7 or 8 of them. I mean, most of the time you could have one meeting just to get everybody up to speed on it. The second meeting, decide what you're gonna do.
Pretty much, it's just looking at the existing ones and saying, yes, we're
It's
gonna
not a
keep
planning
funding it, or
board.
we're gonna add more to the funding of it, or it's not a,
Right,
unless you're adding new ones.
right. It's not the planning board's job to do this. It's the planning board's job to organize it and have representation on it. So if you're doing it as part of the planning board meetings, it's not really the way to do CIP.
Yeah. Well, we just went, at the planning board, we went through line items,
Yeah.
talked about it,
Well,
and decided there was more information we
You got,
needed,
you
so.
got important people there. I mean, Curtis is probably one of the biggest
Yeah,
thing, and he's on the planning board.
Yeah.
And I believe he should be part of the CIP. He always was in the past.
yeah.
You know, recommending what we're doing to our roads and what needs to be done, looking forward.
Yeah.
You know, and going on his expertise of
Do you think the CIP should have a meeting of their own instead
Oh,
of,
absolutely.
gathering at a
Yeah.
planning board meeting?
It should be a meeting of their own.
Okay.
Yeah. Should be a member of the select board on
But
it.
you should have all the information for that meeting,
Yeah.
so you're not, don't have to have a second meeting and a third.
No,
meeting. You should pretty much have a good idea, and then have that meeting and say, yes, yes, yes.
When I was a selectman, I think we did it in one meeting.
Yeah,
You know, we
we
went
did it
through
within
and
the planning
we
board.
kind of looked at what went on the past
Yeah.
years and whatnot, and where the tax rate is. Because, you know, that's the thing you gotta keep in mind as well.
Can you put the parking lot out here on there as a conversation? Curtis already knows about it.
Yeah.
Whether we do it next year or we start a capital improvement to do it.
And I thought they was talking it through.
And then, you know, also when you're doing these, I mean, you don't want any more expendable funds as absolutely necessary, because, you know, I would trust this select board to have the authority
Right.
to expend.
What's the next one?
But I don't know if I trust the next select board to, and I wouldn't, you'd just be careful with that.
Yeah.
You know, I always look down the road,
Yeah,
because I'm not gonna be here forever,
right. Yeah.
okay?
Yeah. I
Did
agree.
you, did you shake them up about getting in the budget?
Yeah, their budget's already turned in.
Is it?
Yes.
Good,
And I'm working on the zoning board.
good, excellent.
Still waiting on
Yeah, that's not around, but-
Curtis. Sandy gave me a partial.
Okay.
It needs a little work still.
Yeah.
Kelly recommended pulling them both in as soon as possible
Yep.
to present.
Yeah,
That's what we used to do, is when they dilly-dallied like that, we would invite them to a select board meeting.
okay, but we're early, a little bit, so that's good, you got one.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. No public comment.
But, Jim, just on the CIP, I'll take a look at this, and I'll give you my recommendations.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Just one thing
Are we on other,
we're on,
boards?
we just did boards.
I have something on other, if you're,
I'm gonna do other, then you can do other,
okay.
okay? Just because it's on my tongue. I've been contacted by the town of Tamworth. They have a new road safety committee. I'm not sure the exact name they're calling it, but it's the safety of the roads. And they've caught wind of our project that we're in the middle of, and Kelly Collins giving them my name. And I finally spoke with the man yesterday. And he's gonna have the chairman of the board of this new committee contact me, and I'm gonna speak with her, but, what I'm struggling with is, I don't want them piggybacking on what we're doing. Because they're saying they're having the same problems down in Chicora.
All right.
I don't wanna mess up and try to add more, and, you know, I'd like the support. I'd like to say, yeah, you call these people and tell them you have, because when I talked to Mark last, he said he'd like to push this project from Ossipee to Conway.
Personal, you want my personal
I
opinion?
do.
Okay, just like the broadband, when Steve and I started, okay, we did our research, and we decided to get more people involved from all the towns. When we had our first just introductory meeting out here in the hall, we had something like 60 people from, I think, 13 towns attended. Okay? I think having a large group of people complaining about what's going on is the way to get things done in this county.
I want
And I would not hesitate to advise you to at least go to a meeting or two and just see. And I will comment further outside the meeting.
Okay. Yeah, so I haven't spoke with the actual, they had a meeting last night. Which was
I wouldn't
late.
rule anything out at this point. I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
The more voices, the more attention.
Well, they may, what I'm kind of gathering in my head is someone might say, look, we're gonna do this massive project, let's not do Albany yet. And that's what I don't want to hear.
I know, I understand where you're going.
Yeah, but let's do it as one, you know, right through into Madison and right into Conway.
I don't think it'll affect the
'Cause if
current
they say that's a
project
shoot-
because it's on the list to be done here in the next, 2 years?
It's on the list to be done here 2 years ago. So I don't want to.
And 8 years ago.
Right, well,
That dates back to Jack Rose, by the way.
yes, it was a 10-year plan, and the 10 years was 2 years ago, so we're 2 years over the 10. But however, I just don't want someone to say, hey, this is crazy, why are we doing this Albany thing? Well, we're gonna eventually do the whole thing.
And I agree. I agree with both of you, but I'm leaning more towards Kelly.
understand where
I mean, yeah, just because we need to get the Albany residents to be at one of these meetings and understand that we need to give them our blessing and get that ball rolling. And it almost seems like that's what they're waiting for. And if we can understand that at these meetings and not argue about all the little
These
things.
meetings they're having out here are worthless.
I know, but they're looking for us to say, yes, we like it, let's do it.
The last
Then let's
indication,
vote right here, right now, that we're gonna do it.
well, I think from the last indication,
I'll make a motion.
last
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
you know, let's stop kicking the can down the road, you know? Let me give you one piece of advice I've learned in politics in New Hampshire. Do more listening than talking. See what they have to
I'm
offer.
listening.
And I understand where you're coming from. And I agree to a
Yeah.
certain point. But I would certainly not just push them away and not at least listen.
Oh, I'm definitely getting involved with them. I've told them I'll help them in any way I can. All indications are from the last meeting we had, they took that as, this is the segment we're doing. And that's where they've been putting, you see surveyors out there, I've seen some places that people, that's what they're, but I also think we should send an official letter giving them our blessing on that 2A, I believe it's called.
I'd wait on a blessing letter till you hear more of what they're
I would
planning.
want to see a little more detailed plan, so they're not saying,
Exactly.
take half of this person's property.
Right.
Okay.
Without,
All right.
I would want to know that.
But I know that that's what they're, from the indications, and what they do is, from the indication of the meeting we had,
Yeah.
they felt this is the
I
section.
mean, the state of New
I
Hampshire.
agree with that section, but I think before I would want to sign off on it, I would want to know that, the details.
Oh, yeah.
The devil's in the details.
Well, they're gonna do that regardless. They like to say us, have our blessing, but they're gonna do it regardless.
That's fine.
Yeah.
They have our blessing to give us some details so we can sign off.
That's what I'm,
No, I'll second that.
Yeah.
all right.
You know, I mean, you know, the state's got to understand, you know, they make all their money, their tax money from revenue from tourism,
Yeah.
okay? And all they do is crap on us up here, and we have to put up with all the nasties that come with it, okay? The least they could do is fix the road coming up through and put in a bypass to get it around us,
You know, that's never gonna happen.
okay?
Yeah.
Well, you know, people gotta start bitching about it, because that is what the problem is.
You know, we told them.
You said to listen. I'm trying to bitch, and you tell me to listen.
Well, it's my turn to bitch.
Okay.
There's a balance. There's a balance.
Now it's Jim's turn. But
I
yeah,
think we're all on the same page. Actually,
Yes.
no, we
I
are.
think we are.
It's just now, I don't want, I've been told that there's extra money. We were told in a meeting there might be extra money, but I don't think it's been hardwired to
Until
us
you see
until
it.
someone else says, well, we really need that money more importantly over here. So I want to keep this going forward. I don't want to delay it.
You know what would be interesting as part of that information that you need, okay, is to get a hold of Mark McConkey, because he'd know exactly where to go to get it, okay? And get a list of all the accidents from Wakefield all the way up through.
Well, that's why I got this for us.
Well, I realize that.
But I don't want to, I want Wakefield to get their information. I want Madison to
I
get their
realize that,
information.
but I would like, I'm curious to see,
Mhm.
is this a real problem in this area and not necessarily in other areas? No,
I think it's, it's everywhere. I think it's everywhere.
You think, but
Yeah.
do you know?
No. But
But that would tell us, but that would
And if this is a
reinforce,
problem area,
that would reinforce our position.
our position is solid. And someone else coming in late to the game, they
It's
say, well, we
solid.
have accidents too.
It's solid,
And that's
we
what I'm
haven't seen
afraid of.
anything yet.
No, but we're gonna see it even further in the future if we try to muddy the waters and add any more to it. So that's where I'm hesitating on getting too many people involved, because they might say, well, we have more accidents than they, and so,
Yeah, we don't have to share that information. They can go out there and get it themselves.
that's what I'm saying.
But it would be interesting to do the
Yeah.
comparison, and not just do it for, say, the last 12 months. I do it for the last 2 years. 2 years to current type of thing, just so you get a good cross-section of
Well, I know that
the data.
to put the project together, they did their own research.
yeah, do they need that from us? I mean, the
I think
project's going.
they had that
What's the
at the meeting.
Right, so
I
I'm
just-
just,
I'm just putting
What's
more.
happening south of us and north of us is what I'm saying. Is this
but
a
isn't this
problem
project
area?
already beyond that?
Yes.
That's what I feel like it's beyond that. It's
I'm
beyond.
only, yeah, I'm only doing this because now I'm trying to put the spurs to them and get it going. Because we're still having accidents.
Well, let's vote on it and tell them to get going.
I believe they are getting going.
Okay.
But I'd like to get them going a little harder.
Well, you said you needed something from the towns.
Well, I don't know if it looked good
We
saying that.
represent the townspeople.
All right, so let me see if I can make a motion here. I make a motion that we,
I'll second it.
that we let them know that we want to push forward. We
ASAP.
agree with the section that they want to do, but we need to have detail to give our final.
No,
Go ahead.
you're talking about the 10-year plan to do this.
Yes, do that section.
That's already been planned out.
Well, we never narrowed it down to 2A. There's 1, 2, 2A, and 3.
Well, let's
We narrowed it down to 2A, and that's what they said, they can do one segment. What do we want? We said 2A.
So we do.
Change your motion.
Okay, so I make a motion that we give our blessing on 2A to move forward on that.
As representatives of the town.
As representative of the town of Albany.
Yeah,
Um,
and
And I'll amend it and second to 2A.
okay.
Did you get all? Maybe have Jim read it before you actually put it to print.
Okay.
Make sure we get it, because this would be an important motion.
I'm gonna talk to you, because I want to explain this whole project to you, because you're gonna.
Yeah, I appreciate that,
You're gonna
because I'm a
start-
little lost.
No, you're
on
gonna start
the
hearing
plan.
stuff.
You drive 16.
Unfortunately, I do.
Well, I'll talk to you about
Alright,
it. And then we'll have them, I'd like it to get signed by the three of us, so we'll sign it at our next meeting and the official
okay.
letterhead, here you go.
Send
And
it to them. Send it to them certified mail.
Yeah, well, I think they're just seeing that we're still talking about and thinking about it.
Everyone is moving forward.
And copy it to as many people as you can.
I may just send that with it.
Whatever.
You know, just think, what I do is every once in a while I send them a little thing saying, hey, you know, another action, hey, another, you know. And they pile it on and I keep hearing, we hear you, we hear you, we hear you, but I'm not gonna go away. We'll just keep sending it.
And then if we don't hear back from them by the first of the year, I would have our attorney draw up a similar letter to send them.
Well, let's get there.
Yeah, well, no, let's let them know we're serious.
Let's go, let's go.
Crap, we're getting off the
Let's go,
phone.
let's go.
Because we're gonna hear it at town meeting. I know we are, or even before.
I'll show you how to head that off. No, well, no, you inform the people,
No, that's what I'm doing.
yeah, at town meeting.
Yeah.
That's what I did. If you went to some of the town meetings, I spoke a lot.
Yeah. Well, town meeting isn't our meeting, so
No, I
tend to
realize that,
try not to do
but
that.
giving them the information
Yeah.
of what we're doing,
yeah.
okay, I think is important.
Well, I envision in my head at this election, if we could have a sign-up sheet, or what do you call that? When you petition for the speed limit and another petition for the Jake break, and let people sign, and I will get a good feel, you know, I already know people are gonna sign for both of them, and if we have that to give to these politicians, to say our whole town is in favor of this, let's go.
Would it be prudent, and I don't know if you've done this before I came back on, would it be prudent to advertise a meeting of the townspeople that live on Route 16, okay, to come to a meeting with the selectmen regarding Jake breaks, speed, etc. Keep the state out of it. Let's hear directly
I
from the
think it's-
people. 'Cause I think these meetings that the state put on were
And sign a petition at that
a
meeting.
joke.
I think they'll come to the meeting hot
Well, that's good,
but
but
not against us.
I realize
So-
that, but let's see if they're willing to be on our side and stand up when it counts. There's a lot of people in towns, and Albany's no different. And they'll bitch and bitch and bitch and bitch and bitch, but when it comes time to stand up and be counted, they're nowhere to be found.
Would you both agree to putting these out for the election? These two petitions?
Oh, yeah, no, everything's gonna help.
I mean, it's just, I'm just gonna we'll put it on the table, I'll have a table
I
and just say
wouldn't put it on
read.
the table. You know what I would do is, during the election, people that come in, go around with a clipboard.
Well, I'll do that
Ask
too,
them to sign
but
it.
anybody we don't catch, I'm just gonna have, read this, and let them go over and read it, and go, yes. I think a lot of signatures goes a long way,
Oh, there's no question.
and it wouldn't, you know, and people see that we're actively researching this and getting everyone's input. People love giving their input. Rather than a conversation that could take 3 hours, they just sign their name and they'll feel better. And we'll work on it.
But the important people are the people that live on 16.
I agree, but I think the whole town wants to take
Oh, I
care of
think
each
the whole-
other. I
I
think
think-
Albany is special that way, that we do care.
Oh, yeah, no, there's no
Everybody.
question. There's no question.
So, you had something,
Yeah, tomorrow at 10:30, I have a solid waste meeting.
oh, good, congratulations.
Appointed me to be the rep.
Please, take lots of notes.
I'll let you know how the garbage is going.
Okay. That's good.
Put it on the agenda for next meeting and
The next one.
or I'll type something up and send it to you to send out to these guys.
We have no non-public today. Our next meeting will be Wednesday, November,
No, Tuesday.
Tuesday.
I'm sorry, Tuesday, November 5th
Yeah.
at 4:30. One motion a week, Jim, you gonna go for it?
Move to adjourn.
I'm not even gonna second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
I second it.
All right.
You don't have to have a motion to adjourn, you know.